Greetings, YouTubers. It's me, Jason Grady, again, and it's been 2 months since I did my review, my reaction video to Phil Brain's review of Prometheus. But don't worry, I will upload that video and put it down in the description below. Today, I am doing a reaction video to the Blockbuster Buster's review of the Avengers. And no, this is not the mega blockbuster way back in 2012 of Phase 1's Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm talking about the adaptation of the 60s show, also called The Avengers, which I never heard of the show, which is actually a spy-themed show, which, honestly, I really love spies. Hell, I even love the James Bond films and games. But, anyway, let's dive into this movie with the Blockbuster Buster, so he will bust and avenge the Avengers.
Extraordinary crimes against pop culture and fandom have to be avenged by agents extraordinary. One such agent is Aaron, codename the Blockbuster Buster. What the hell is the deal with the polka-dotted blue pastel umbrella? John Steed never carried anything like this.
No, he carries around a plain black one.
Well, I have to admit, it's got good balance.
Yeah, indeed. But
You don't mind? I'll stick to what I know.
let's do it. Still badass Steve. The Blockbuster Buster will bust the 1998 Avengers film. Marvel, not Marvel, Spy.
Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. I'm E-Rod, and I'm the Blockbuster
Yeah, you
Buster.
are.
I guarantee you that nowadays, when you hear the title Avengers, the first thing that you think of is Marvel's ultra-popular superhero team.
With
But
the
fact
legendary
of the matter
heroes
is
we
that
all know
long
and
before
love.
the creation of Marvel's resident catsuit
The Black
wearing
Widow.
super spy, and before Marvel's mightiest heroes ever assembled, there was already a team of super smooth British spies that carried that title and also had a catsuit wearing vixen among them. Cause extraordinary crimes must be avenged by agents extraordinary, the Avengers. In fact, in Britain, Marvel's The Avengers was retitled Avengers Assemble to avoid confusion.
Which makes sense.
Let me take you back to the swinging 60s, where the spy genre had taken pop culture by storm. We had James Bond, and like Flint, Mission Impossible, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., hell, even Doctor Who took on more of a spy theme. And
Makes
yet
sense.
The Avengers, which was intended as a lighthearted, tongue-in-cheek spoof of the spy genre, made it to our television screens first. The show followed the adventures of singular agents who would take on the most bizarre cases that would threaten the British Empire. Initially, the show focused on Dr. David Keel, played by Ian Henry. But Mr. Henry left the show after the first season, so the lead role went to his partner, the dashing, debonair, and quick-witted John Steed, played by the legendary Patrick McNean, known for his trademark bowler hat, always carrying an umbrella, and for his impressive fencing skills. To many, John Steed serves as the template to all modern spies in fiction. Steed has several gorgeous assistants throughout the show, more notably Kathy Gale and Tara King. But his most popular partner, and the one who is most associated with the show, and one of my personal nostalgic hotties, was Emma Peel, as played by Diana Riddick. While Steed was the epitome of traditional British class, Mrs. Peel represented the modern 60s youth culture, with her sexy catsuit, her free spirit, and her amazing martial arts skills. And by amazing, I mean it's amazing that any of these moves were effective.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, Captain Kirk was a more legit martial artist than her.
Yeah, and he beat up Khan.
But it was a low-budget 60s show, so you had to forgive it. And the enjoyment of the show was not in the action, but in the chemistry between these two iconic characters.
Yeah, and also, fun fact here, both Diana Rigg and Patrick McNean were in the James Bond films. She played Teresa Tracy, who will be James Bond's wife until she got killed by Blofeld and his henchwoman in the movie On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and Patrick McNee was in A View to a Kill as James Bond's ally until he was killed by Mayday. So technically, we have the Avengers already team up with James Bond. Interesting crossover. Yeah, I would like to see that in comic form one day. Anyway, back to the review.
When I heard that Warner Brothers was making a big budget adaptation of the Avengers, I couldn't wait to see it.
But then there's the
But
problem.
soon thereafter, news started to get out of script rewrites, production delays, and one of the most disastrous test screenings in Warner Brothers history.
Ouch.
One that was so bad that it prompted the famed studio to delay the movie from its original coveted June release date.
Ouch.
So, without further ado, let's take a look at this thing so I can avenge the Avengers.
Oh yeah.
So our movie begins with our bowler hat brandishing bastion of badassery, John Steed, as played by Joseph Fiennes.
I am
Good
from the
choice,
Bond films.
As he takes his morning constitutional,
Oh,
when suddenly
yes.
everything tries to
Ralph
kill him.
Fiennes did play M in the James Bond films, more notably the three of them. Skyfall, Spectre, and No Time to Die. Pretty good M, but pretty good M.
Oh, nuns with guns! Nuns with guns!
No, there's
Seriously, no nuns with guns?
nah.
Well, that's disappointing. So obviously, the whole thing turns out to be a training course that Steve gets through with high marks all around.
Pretty much.
But it still doesn't compare to the all-time record holder.
Oh yeah, Darkwing Duck.
I'm sure our little dramatization has demonstrated how
Still love that
Darkwing
show.
Duck's unique methods put our own SHASH procedures to shame.
So an experimental weather control system called Project Prospero has been stolen. So the Ministry Superior's mother, played by Jim Broadbent,
Hi,
and father,
Slugworth.
played by Fiona Shaw,
And-
call in
and
John Steed to investigate
Petunia
the theft. But they
from
insist
Harry
that he
Potter.
work with the creator of Project Prospero, Mrs. Emma Peel, played by Uma Thurman. Good choice. So Mrs.
Yeah,
Peel
pretty
goes to
much.
meet with Steed at a gentleman's club.
I'm afraid that's impossible. You are female.
Duh.
The two finally meet in the most
Ah,
awkward of
classified.
situations.
Cover
with
up
Steve
his,
sitting naked in a
backside.
steam room. But in staying true to their characters, the two maintain the utmost decorum in spite of the explicit sensuality of their current situation.
So what was all this? Some sort of test?
Congratulations, you've entered a bastion of male privilege. You're not someone who plays by the rules, Doctor.
Rules are made to be broken.
And I have to give credit where credit is due. Fiennes and Thurman nailed Mrs. Peel and Steed's trademark stigmathea. It's a rhythmic exchange of witty one-liners. Go
Yeah,
read a book.
from the show.
You're a lady of hidden talents, Mrs. Peel.
They're sparring! That's what they did on the show when they first met!
From the first episode? Jeez, I gotta watch all the Avengers shows. The episodes of the Avengers.
A little more flexibility in the wrist.
Ah, flexibility in the wrist.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So now that the Avengers have assembled,
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of something else. Since they're two members of the team, so why couldn't they just have additional members of the team? Or they were gonna do that, but they don't have the money and the budget to do that. So, hey, that's just me. But I will come back to this towards the end.
they go to meet with Mother, who reveals that the chief suspect for sabotaging Project Prospero and potentially stealing it is none other than Mrs. Peel. Now
What?
I know what you're thinking. If they have video evidence of Mrs. Peel committing the theft, then why don't they just arrest her? Well, this is one of the first of many things that made more sense in the original version, as opposed to the mismatched jumble of insanity that is the final cut of this
Let's
movie.
hear it.
You see, in the original version, the movie opened with Mrs. Peel working on Project Prospero alongside her late husband and her brother-in-law, Valentine Peel. In this version,
Oh.
Valentine Peel was behind everything. The stealing of the project, the sabotage, and framing Mrs. Peel, because he wanted to send the ministry on a wild goose chase and hold the world for ransom using the weather control device, all the while the ministry was busy chasing after Mrs. Peel. But unfortunately, the mistake that he made was that there was conflicting video evidence, which showed that Mrs. Peel was in two places at once. For this reason, the ministry allows Mrs. Peel to join the investigation.
You know, that could have made more sense in the original version. That I can imagine that scene in my head where that they found out that video footage was conflicted because that the two Emma Peels were in different sections of the room. Like, say, one side that we have the Emma Peel that is going around killing people and sabotaging Project Prospero, and then we have the other Mrs. Peel, the real one, is coming in, like, say, bringing dinner to her and her husband because they were working on the project, and they realized that, oh, teas and crumpets. She's here and she's there because that is not the real Emma Peel. That is. So basically, let's have her join the investigation. And that could make more sense. Really makes more sense.
In this version, however, they just show her the footage without being sure whether or not she's the real Mrs. Peel. They ask her to investigate on their behalf, and she says, okay.
This doesn't make a lick.
No kidding, Daffy.
As it turns out, a company called Wonderland Weather miraculously develops the same weather control technology right after Project Prospero was destroyed. So Steed and Mrs. Peel are dispatched to investigate the company's founder, Sir August de Winter, played by Sean
Rest in
Connery.
peace, Sean Connery.
Bond is playing the villain. I see what you did there.
He's playing baseball theme? Well, that's pretty funny.
So our sexy spies decide to split up. Mrs. Peel will distract Sir August, while Steed searches the ground. They're splitting up? But wouldn't it be better if they stuck together just in case they ran into trouble?
Makes sense.
Oh well, Mrs. Peel can handle herself. She's an expert martial artist. I'm sure she will be fine.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah. Whoa!
Peel. Emma Peel.
Bond. James Bond.
Have we met, or is it just the rain that's familiar?
No, that's
No.
it's not creepy at all.
No.
The ratio of protons to ions. Me. The entire microtransmission theory. Me. I did it all.
Sure.
Yes, tea sounds lovely, whatever you say.
Yeah, pretty much.
While Mrs. Peel deals with Sir August the Crazy, Steed continues searching the ground when he is suddenly attacked by freakish weather.
Came out of nowhere, or it could be from the weather control machine.
Is that you, Mrs. Peel?
You want to get down, Steed? Okay.
Suddenly, evil Emma Peel shoots him. Just like that. After a really crappy transition, Steed wakes up naked in Mrs. Peel's flat, without any kind of concern over the fact that, as far as he knows, the woman tending to him just shot him in the chest a few moments ago.
Yeah, it would have made more sense they could have just have, like, that transition shot slowly fade to black, and then we fade into Emma Peel, the real one, attending Steve's injuries. Kind of made more sense.
Nope, I still have no idea why this is the superior cut to this movie.
Nope.
So the Avengers decide to investigate Wonderland Weather instead. Unfortunately, the heads of the company are in the middle of a board meeting, and they can't spare a moment to answer our heroes' questions. Now, before we go into the board meeting scene, believe it or not, there is something severely wrong with this scene. But not only am I gonna give each and every one of you the chance to spot this mistake, but I'm also going to have professional heckler Garfield watch the scene with
and
us
Odie.
and see if he can spot this particular scene's subtle snafu.
Let's see.
Welcome to Wonderland Weather, here in our London headquarters.
See any mistakes yet?
Nope.
I don't see anything wrong either.
Now, allied with our
Despite that,
Brawley,
they're
together we will
customized
How many
Beanie
mistakes
Baby
did
teddy
you
bears.
spot?
I really miss those
Everything looks normal to me.
Beanie Babies.
absolute loyalty, absolute obedience.
Wait, there! Did you see it?
Wait,
Okay.
show me
I'm
again.
gonna show it again. This time pay close attention and you might see the mistake.
Okay.
See, in this frame, all the pamphlets on the table are jet black.
Okay.
And in this frame, they're onyx.
Oh yeah.
Sloppy production design. I tell ya.
Yeah.
It takes a keen eye to spot these inconsistencies.
On behalf of the management of this show, I would like to say how embarrassed we are about these mistakes. What? No, you're wrong. There were no other mistakes in the show. Come on, boy, it's 10 a.m.
Where did Marmaduke come from?
After finding the dead bodies of two of the scientists who worked on Project Prospero, Steed and Mrs. Peel have all the proof that they need to go after Sir August. So
Okay,
they
makes
split
sense.
up. Again.
Really?
Last time you split up, Mrs. Peel was almost molested,
Or almost being killed?
and Steed got shot in the chest. If it hadn't been for his armor-plated vest, he would be dead right
Yeah,
now.
pretty much.
So guys, splitting up is just not a very good...
I'll take the high road.
And I'll take the low road.
Oh, forget it.
Oh, for Pete's
So
sakes.
Steed runs into some goons in an alley. Eddie Izzard? Why not?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, no.
That was a very silly thing.
Yeah. Roller advice, dude. Never touch a gentleman's bowler hat.
Oh, no, you didn't.
He will definitely kick your ass. Oh! Ugh.
So, Mrs. P... Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently it's time for a PSA.
PSA.
That was what goes on in the botanical
Oh, hey,
gardens.
James.
Drop bears.
Oh, hey, Kevin James.
So it's a drop bear.
Kevin
He's like,
Smith.
You know what a koala is? I was like, yeah. He's going, is that a drop bear? I said, he goes, no. Imagine a koala on crystal meth. That is a drop bear. I was like, really? Get the fuck out of here. I've never heard of that.
What
He's
the
like,
heck is
it's
a
only in
drop bear?
Botanical gardens, man. I was like, is that right? He's like, yeah, so many trees, and you just never know. They just come out of nowhere like, ah, and just land on you and bite. They bite and run away. And I was like, get out of here. He's like, they're small like koalas. They're cute but vicious.
Holy double clubs, Batman.
So after that bit of
Holy
educational
double fishes,
info,
Batman.
Steve finally sees the two Mrs. Peels side by side, confirming that there is an imposter running around, and that she is a furry. I knew it.
Yeah, it could be worse.
The Avengers go straight to Sir August's mansion, and since the direct approach didn't work last time, the bad guys decide to do a little subcontracting in order to stop the Avengers.
What the heck are those things?
Waspinators. Lots of them.
Waspinators?
Insects.
From Beast Wars? I'm guessing we will see the Waspinators from Beast Wars 2 Transformers Rise of the Beast? I'm curious about what they look like in the movie. Okay, that was like somebody edited for future Pooh's Avengers, and I actually love Pooh's Avengers.
On the move and running out of options, the Avengers are saved by the most badass granny ever.
With a Tommy gun.
Would you please be so kind as to hit the ground, if it's not too much trouble?
Of course, madam.
I hope he was a baddie.
Oh, indeed it is.
She reminds me of my granny. Oh, interesting fact. The role of the gun-toting granny was originally intended to be a cameo for the original Emma Peel, Diana Rigg.
Huh.
Fortunately, she was smart enough to turn down the role. Nonetheless, the
good
gun-toting
choice.
granny is a great addition to
rest
the
in
team.
peace,
They are
Diana
definitely
Rigg.
gonna catch Sir August, as long as they don't split up. Damn it!
They did it again.
Stop splitting up! You're the Avengers, not the Scooby Gang! Of course, now that they're isolated, Sir August gets the drop on them, capturing Mrs. Peel and taking on Steed one-on-one.
A man with an umbrella is a man praying for rain.
And a man without one is a fool.
Wow, that is some crappy banter.
I'd rather watch James Bond do his signature banter.
All is right.
One way or another, Steed is an expert swordsman. Sir August is going down.
Nope. That happens.
And on top of that, he just leaves Steed laying there. He's not even going to try and kill one of the people who is most likely to foil
Yeah,
his
pretty
plan.
much.
The longer I watch this movie, the stupider the characters get.
Pretty much.
I wonder what he wanted Mrs. Peel for.
That. Yeah. I think the language will do. Okay, I see. Therapist. Rapist. It's a Saturday Night Live gag. It's pretty funny.
Oh, thank God.
Jeez,
Now,
please.
for those of you who are wondering why there's a date rape scene in the middle of what was originally intended to be a big-budget, action-packed, fun summer blockbuster, well, this is yet another thing that made more sense in the original version.
Let's hear it.
You see, back when Valentine was the villain, it was revealed that his motivation for stealing Project Prospero and trying to take over the Empire was his jealousy towards his brother. His jealousy towards his brother's invention and his brother's sexy catsuit wearing wife.
Okay.
In this scene, it is revealed that in spite of Valentine's ruthlessness, he still doesn't have the heart to kill Emma because he's so madly in love with her.
Okay, so basically, it's basically his jealousy towards his brother, his invention, and his wife, but he cannot go through torturing Emma Peel that Valentine, or Sir Arcus in the final version, is so madly in love with her. So basically, this is all just kind of like brother jealousy. So it does make sense, because I really wish that somebody send me the original script so I can look at it and see what it could have been in the Avengers movie that we originally gonna get before the jumble mess that we got back in 1998.
But without that backstory,
Yep.
Sean Connery,
The original James Bond himself, and
one of the smoothest, coolest actors of all time, just comes off as an old creepy pervert.
suck on it, Trebek. Suck it long and suck it hard.
So while Sir August
I still love
answers
that
the door,
Saturday Night
Mrs. Peel
Live
makes a
gag.
run for it.
Huh. Crazy House.
Wow, now this is fantastic. I'm not sure we want to pay for a dimension we're not going to use.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty funny. I still love Futurama, and I'm really glad they're coming back on Hulu, and I cannot wait to watch it when it comes out. Okay.
That's okay, Mrs. Peel. John Steed will swing in any moment and save you.
Ugh.
Just
Really?
save yourself, honey. The Avengers regroup at John Steed's flat this
Okay.
time, when suddenly...
Steve,
Unnecessary
close-up.
Unnecessary close-up. The Ministry is sick of waiting for results, so they show up to arrest Mrs. Peel, as she is their only suspect.
Okay, why? I understand that in the original script they're still looking for her, but they realize like, oh yeah, the video evidence that she was in the two of them, there that shows her two places at once. So why they couldn't keep that in the original in the original version and pass it on to the final version? But no.
Steve quickly heads to the Ministry archives to find evidence of Mrs. Peel's innocence. All the while, Father interrogates Mrs. Peel.
It'll help pass the time.
Time would pass anyway if you think about it logically. But then, so if you do think logically or even anti-logically, clockwise or anti-clockwise, tick-tock, tock, tick, seesaw, Marjorie doll, it amounts to the same thing.
Say it with me now.
This is yet another thing that made more sense in the original version.
Where Valentine not only framed Mrs. Peel, but he made her question her sanity by not only making her doppelganger attack her from time to time, but also by appearing to her in the guise of her late husband, making our favorite catsuit-wearing super scientist slowly go crazy.
Okay, so basically it's like psychologically. So basically, that Emma Peel is basically slowly going crazy because that she's imagining her dead husband and the Emma clone basically attack her multiple times. It's kind of like causing psychological problems. That could be more interesting than go psychological go into her head. That would be more interesting in the final version. But of course we don't get that version.
Here, from one scene to the other, she goes full on Frank Miller.
Yeah. Movies.
Steve finally makes it to the archives, where the Invisible Man works.
Huh?
Why not?
Oh, hello. Brenda told
Oh,
me
hi,
you were
original
Steve.
John Steve.
Wait a minute. That voice.
No, really, that's
suave
him.
and sophisticated, yet flirtatious and reassuring. Oh my God, it's Patrick McNee, the original actor who played John Steve in the Avengers.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. If they have Patrick McNee on staff and he's invisible, why doesn't he just go after Sir August on his own?
Well, he dealt with invisible people before, so I don't think that's a no-go.
Easy at it. Get up. I want you dressed at all times. Or else I put up your arse.
At least he tried.
Yeah, pretty
so
much.
Steve finally finds the evidence that he needs to absolve Mrs. Peel. In fact, he finds too much evidence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not only is the Ministry responsible for cloning Mrs. Peel. Oh, in the original version, she was a robot duplicate. Never mind, that sounds equally as stupid.
No, I think that makes kind of sense because for the robot clone that makes sense, but in this version, how the hell they got the DNA to clone Emma Peel? I mean, did they took a piece of her hair sample, some saliva, or even blood samples to make the clone version of Emma Peel? I mean, do they do like a accelerated growth go from infant to adult from minutes or seconds? I'm curious about that.
But he also finds out that Father was working in conjunction with Sir August all along, and that the Ministry already knows the location of Project Prospero.
What?
If you knew all this, why didn't you tell anyone?
Well, nobody ever asked.
That was really stupid.
You and me both, Winston. You and me both.
So Father and the Emma clone try to get away with Mrs. Peel on a hot air balloon for some reason.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, Steve, all you have to do is shoot the grappling hook hidden inside your umbrella, climb the rope, karate chop Father in the neck.
No. She falls down, and both the Emma clone and Father gets killed by a electrical sign.
Oh, that was really nice of the bad guys to crash the balloon and kill themselves.
Yeah,
Very considerate. Saves the Avengers a lot of time.
pretty much.
I wonder,
No.
Steve and Mrs. Peel never kissed.
No.
They flirted a lot
They're
but
friends.
never kiss. Steed is a gentleman, and Mrs. Peel still believes her husband to be alive. So what possible reason could this movie have to allow this?
I needed proof that you were definitely Mrs. Peel.
I really hate this movie.
You know what I kind of done with this scene? Instead of having Steed and John and Emma kiss, he pretty much asked her, "Are you the real Emma Peel?" And she says, "Does this?" And she hugs him, showing that they're not lovers, they're friends. Because, like Erod said, that she is still looking for her husband because he is still alive. So basically, I can see them as friends.
So Sir August makes an unscheduled appearance in front of the World Council as his weather machine wreaks havoc on London, and he just confesses to being the one behind it all. He
Really?
didn't send a ransom letter, he didn't appear on a video screen, he physically walks into the room and confesses.
Really?
I would question why nobody bothers to shoot him, tase him, or arrest him, but this is the movie with robo-wasps, a clone, and an invisible man. So hey, who gives a shit?
Very much.
So the Avengers head over to Sir August's lair, using their standard issue inflatables. Big one. James Bond has one of those.
Oh yeah, just in case of I don't know, an avalanche from the world is not enough.
Didn't he once use the same thing to get on Blofeld's ship?
You mean his Oriole Station headquarters in Diamonds Are Forever? Then yes, he does. He did use that in Diamonds Are Forever. So that answers your question, Erod.
So Mrs. Peel finally wears her trademark cat suit in an effort to pass herself off as her evil counterpart.
Makes sense.
And she even knows the secret password to gain entry into his lair.
And what is the password? And what is the password?
Now, round house.
And
And how does she know this?
do tell.
There was a scene in the movie where John Steed observed the clone do just that.
How now, brown cow?
This is how they would know the entrance and the password. But guess what? This scene was cut out of the movie, in spite of the fact that it was featured in every single trailer for this movie.
Okay, I really wish that somebody can make a fan edit version of this movie and include that scene where both the real Emma Peel and John Steed watch the clone at a distance with some kind of a listening device, and she hears the clone say, "How now, brown cow," and that's where they got the password to get into the lair. Makes more sense.
Now, I would question why such a vital scene was cut out of the movie, but the fact of the matter is that the whole charade of passing herself off as the clone is pointless.
Pretty much.
Since Sir August already knows that they are coming.
Yeah, pretty
Now,
much.
Let me guess.
Same here.
Their brilliant strategy, from stopping Sir August de Winter from taking over the world with his weather machine, is to split up. God, I hate this movie. So
I feel
Mrs.
the
Peel
pain.
goes to the Activate Project Prospero, as Steed faces off against Sir August on his own.
Steve.
Okay. One
John
more time.
Steve.
Bond. James Bond.
Now, since the weather machine is the key to Sir August's plan, you'd figure it'd be better guarded, right?
Yeah, and also, why the hell is the weather control machine is hanging on wires? Shouldn't it be on, like, say, like a platform, and then, like, say, on top of a tower, so they can get easy access to where the machine is, and have, like, say, like, dozens of security officers and security guards around the machine? Do they do that?
But
No.
It's just Eddie Izzard on a wire guarding the thing by himself.
Yeah, one guy to protect the important machine that pretty much want to destroy the world. But no security officers, only one guy guarding the very important device that is key to the main villain's plan.
Well, at least we're finally gonna get to see Mrs. Peel's amazing martial arts skills, which were sorely lacking in the TV series. But this is a big-budget blockbuster movie. We can at least count on some kick-ass fight choreography, right?
No. Oh yeah, and also since this is a PG-13, you only get one F-bomb in this one. And also, I was thinking exactly, Eddie. Exactly.
Steve goes to fight Sir August.
Oh.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh boy.
You'll pay for that.
Yeah, like I said, never mess with the man's bowler hat.
Now watch out, John. He is a Highlander.
Oh, that's true, because he plays Ramses. And may we say together, Connor McLeod? There could be only one. Well, I guess Thor has enough of his crap.
The thing was just a joke. So Sir August is conveniently dispatched. Mrs. Peel stops the weather machine. The bad guy's lair explodes for no good reason.
Well, because the machine blows up.
The day is saved, and the Avengers survive to drink tea another day.
And eat trumpets.
This movie's a vengeful vagrant of vile villainy. All the right ingredients are there. A good cast, good crew, big budget, and yet it's all ruined by very, very poor execution. In fact, many industry experts use this movie as an example of how a big budget studio movie can go very, very wrong. This movie bombed so hard.
Oh yeah.
Its combined failure with The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was one of many reasons that prompted Sean Connery to retire. This final cut of the movie is such an incoherent jumble of scenes that even if you were familiar with the original script, there are still moments that make no sense.
Yeah, I would like to see the original
If you're
script.
a hardcore fan of the original
Please,
Avengers,
somebody
it's definitely
send
worth the
me
watch,
a
as you will
link to the
appreciate
original
all the subtle
script of
nods
the
to original
Avengers.
series. But if you've never heard of the Avengers, then stay away, because this
Because
is one
I would like to
horrible
see what
introduction to the
what it
franchise.
could have been.
The original show was similar in a lot of ways to the classic Doctor Who series. While it might be low budget,
Yeah.
the show makes up for that through the writing and the acting. It's the kind of classic show that you watch and think to yourself, if this had a bigger budget, it would be perfect.
Yeah, pretty
For
much.
that reason, like Doctor Who, I'm hoping that the BBC will one day do a revamp or a reboot of the series.
And yeah, like I said, that they could have do something new. The BBC could have done like an international version of the Avengers. Think about this. You could still have your two main leads, and think about this. The plot of this revamp of the Avengers will be like this. About a team of secret agents teaming up with the two Avenger operatives, as in the spies, not the superheroes. And here's my fan casting. Like, you have a Spanish swordsman who is a spy, and of course his wife. Who I would pick is Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian, to be the husband, and the wife will be played by a very cute actress who played the priestess character from Da Vinci's Demons. I could definitely see her in that role. And you have the CIA husband and wife duo. One played by Chris Evans, and the other one played by Scarlett Johansson. That would be awesome to have those two again as CIA agents who've been transferred to be part of the Avengers team. And makes sense because they were in the Avengers series, so pretty much. Then you have also not as an Avenger operative or spy, but a detective who basically got wind of this and decides to join in the investigation. He could be like a forensic scientist. The other two mentions like a swordsman, explosives expert, weapons training, martial arts. Then you got a Japanese woman who pretty much kick ass for like sword training and hand-to-hand combat. And for her, I'm thinking about having the actress who played Katana in the Suicide Squad movie and from The Boys. I think she can pull that off. And then you got a Swedish woman who is part of the spy agency, and she could be like a master of disguise. With the others can help. And if you want to make this like help, have the three actors to pretty much have a reunion. And those three I mentioned, the detective, who is an American, will be played by Marshall Logan Green. The Swedish agent will be played by Nui Rapace. And for Erod's choice to play John Steed and Emma Peel, who the actress was not in Prometheus, but the actor he picked.
With Michael Fassbender as John Steed?
Yeah, pretty much. You can have like the three actors reunited to come back.
And Michelle Ryan as Emma Peel. Oh,
Good choice. And heck, the BBC could make a bank on this idea. They can make an international spy team called the Avengers, and not confuse them with the superheroes. I mean, that could be a genius, kick-ass idea. But
for now, that's just
he's gonna bust the
from an old school
1998
fanboy.
movie.
Now, if you excuse me,
And a
I have
fan
a mission to
casting.
complete. It's time for me to give you the proper send-off.
And that being,
Avengers time.
oh yeah. And he's gonna do it as Asia Avenger Operative from Iron Man. The God of Thunder, Thor. The first Avenger, Captain America.
Alright, let's finish this.
And the big green guy himself, the Hulk. Hulk smash! And that was the Blockbuster Busters review of the Avengers. Yeah, like I said, I really wish that they could have just used the original version of the script instead of the jumble mess of what we got back in 1998. I mean, I really wish that we could have got that version instead of the version that we got. I mean, I would really wish that happened. Also, this time I'm gonna do another reaction video for you guys tomorrow. And that is going to be on the Blockbuster Busters review of I Spy. Stay tuned for that, and also stay safe, be healthy, spend time with your friends and loved ones. I'm Jason Grady, PH Singer 61, and I will continue making more videos for the time comes. Peace out, have fun, and stay safe.